In my video, The 7 Types of Egoists, I talk about the differences between virtuous and unvirtuous egoists. I recommend watching this one first if you haven't already. Click on the pop-up in the top right corner of the video to check it out. Generally speaking, people who are regarded as heroes are brave and help others in often difficult circumstances. For example, these are people who put their own lives or freedom at risk for others or for what they believe in. But the heroes I want to talk about here in particular are people who, despite experiencing a lot of difficulties in their lives, always try their best to be virtuously selfish. Being virtuously selfish is much harder for someone experiencing a lot of difficulties than for someone experiencing a lot of success. What you often see is that people who are successful and doing well in life are often adored and idolized and are placed on a pedestal, so to speak. They often receive compliments and positive attention, and they may also have many followers, fans, and connections. Individuals experiencing success who are also virtuously selfish can of course be great people, but they are not heroes. The heroes I'm referring to are not doing well, but they are still virtuously selfish in spite of that. They can compliment others who are well off despite the fact that they themselves receive little or no compliments at all. They are having a hard time, but they can control themselves when they are mistreated by others. They encounter people who are unreasonable and aggressive and who can make their lives less enjoyable, and yet they remain reasonable and assertive in return. They can reject something of value if they feel that they do not deserve it or that it does not belong to them, even though they desperately need it. They can also sincerely wish others a good time and success, even when the inevitable feeling of jealousy makes it difficult for them to do so. They are bullied or belittled, but remain kind and respectful to others. They fail but admit their mistakes and accept the criticism they receive. They are victims of discrimination, but they do not discriminate in response. They go above and beyond to help others, even when they themselves are in need or struggling. These examples are meant to illustrate individuals who deserve the title selfish hero. But of course, one is always relative to the other. One deserves this title more than the other. Not only can one endure more difficulties than the other, but one can also more often try their best to be virtuously selfish than the other. Or one may have more trouble, it takes more energy and effort, being virtuously selfish than the other. And by the way, it is not the case that once we are not virtuously selfish, in the event of a setback, we will lose this title. As I've said in my video on the 7 types of egoists, it is impossible to always be just one type of egoist, and this also applies to someone who is mainly virtuously selfish, who may not be able to be virtuous all the time. The point here is that we try our best to be virtuously selfish, and the fact that we can be unvirtuously selfish so now and then is only human.